Panic in Velyka Novosilka. An entire column of Russian armed forces advances toward the Dnipro, and they can't be stopped. Hello, dear friends. Today is January 25th, 2025, and this is the traditional review of the battle map. Currently, the main developments are taking place in the southern Donetsk direction, the Kupiansk direction, and from the Kursk region, where a lot of geomaterials have come in, which we will discuss and examine in this video. Before we begin, I sincerely ask you to subscribe to the channel. Your subscription helps the channel grow. Thank you to everyone who has already subscribed. Let's begin with the Kherson direction, as many in the comments have asked about it. In the Kherson direction, there are no significant changes on the map. Some materials have been received from these points, where Russian forces are attacking Ukrainian positions on the right bank of the Dnipro River. However, the map remains largely unchanged. There are ongoing positional battles here, with both the Ukrainian and Russian sides inflicting losses on each other. In the Kharkiv direction, Russian forces are attacking the settlements of Novodanilivka and Malotokmachka. Though no territorial advances have been made, these attacks are carried out using drones and artillery, so there are no changes on the map. To the west of Velyka Novosilka, Russian forces are attacking three settlements: Temirivka, Novopil, and Novodarivka. Russian artillery and FPV drone operators are actively working in these areas, though again, there are no significant changes on the map. Now let's move on to Velyka Novosilka, where substantial changes have occurred as of this morning. Geomaterials have come in from these points, showing Russian troops raising the Russian Federation flag on buildings. Additional reports confirm that the entire northern part of Velyka Novosilka, up to the water barrier formed by the river, has come under Russian control. All areas marked in red are now fully controlled by the Russian army. Russian forces entered from the eastern side and cut off the southern Ukrainian grouping in Velyka Novosilka. The Shaitanka River flows through this area, as well as the Mokry Yali River, leaving the southern grouping encircled. Final clearing operations are currently underway. Although some reports claim this area has already been cleared, we'll wait for further confirmation. The entire Velyka Novosilka area is effectively encircled, creating a large pocket where approximately 300 Ukrainian armed forces personnel remain, according to Ukrainian sources. Ukrainian forces are now debating who is to blame for failing to withdraw troops in time. Ukrainian troops are also attempting to cross the Mokry Yali River at this point, but geomaterials confirm that Russian forces are using artillery and FPV drones to suppress Ukrainian infantry, making escape nearly impossible. Russian troops continue clearing Velyka Novosilka, and fighting has already reached the center of the settlement. If Russian forces maintain this pace, the entire area will likely fall under their control within a few days. Next, let's move to the Kurakhove direction, where significant changes have also occurred. Geomaterials show Russian forces expanding their control northeast of Dakhny. Reports suggest that Dakhny is now in a gray zone, with few Ukrainian troops remaining. Russian forces have not stormed Dakhny but have used FPV drones to expel Ukrainian troops. Additionally, Russian forces reportedly entered Dakhny from the northwest, with confirmation from both Russian and Ukrainian sources. In Novoandrivka, Russian troops are engaging in battles in the eastern part, entering from the east. However, this area contains a heavily fortified Ukrainian position. Ukrainian troops are preventing Russian forces from advancing further into the settlement. Instead, Russian forces are leveling the front line along the supply road between Yasinova and Novoandrivka to prepare an assault from the north. Around Yasinov, Russian forces have cleared a small area, bringing it under their control. Reports indicate that the territory between Slyavanka and Yasinov is fully under Russian control, though we await additional geomaterials to confirm this for map updates. Further along the map, there are reports that Novoandrivka is largely under Russian control, though it remains in a gray zone. Russian forces are clearing the area after forcing Ukrainian troops to retreat to Serebryan. Both Ukrainian and Russian sources confirm this, with Novoandrivka expected to be fully cleared in the next 2 to 3 days. Afterward, Russian forces are expected to attack Serebryan. Moving higher on the map, between Uspanivka and Nova Yelizavetivka, Russian forces have cleared 2 forest belts, fully securing the territory. Preparations are underway for an assault on Novoalexandrivka. For a week now, Novoalexandrivka has been attacked from two directions, from Uspanivka and Nova Yelizavetivka, but without success. Reports suggest Russian forces are fully clearing Uspanivka and building reserves to launch a decisive assault. Now regarding Udakne. Here, Russian forces are advancing and trying to consolidate in the center of the settlement. The only material received is from this point, and the entire area has come under Russian control. Russian troops are positioned at this crossroads, with the entire forest belt and the territory marked in red now fully under Russian control. Reports indicate that Russian forces are already in the center of Udakne, but Ukrainian troops are not retreating significantly. They are attempting to counterattack and hold their positions, though Russian forces are gradually pushing through this territory. This settlement is very important because its capture opens up a pathway for a rapid advance to the north. Slightly north of Udakne lies a heavily fortified area at the Yuzhnodonbaska mine. If Udakne and this mine are lost, Russian forces will physically cut off the Dnipro-Pokrovsk highway and enter the settlement of Hryshin. This will further encircle the Pokrovsk grouping of the Ukrainian armed forces, forcing them to abandon the city and avoid urban warfare. This strategy seems promising and appears to align with Russian command's plans. Kotlyaryne updates. As of today, Kotlyaryne has also come under the control of the Russian armed forces. Although it was captured several days ago, geomaterials confirming Russian control of the area around the fortified positions were only received today. This fortified area was previously held by the Ukrainian army and located in high-rise buildings occupied by Ukrainian troops. These high-rises are now under Russian control, and reserves are being brought in and positions fortified. Geomaterials from this point also show the advanced positions of the Russian army. All territory marked in red is under Russian control. The map currently reflects this situation. Toretsk direction. Battles are ongoing in the northern part of Toretsk. Ukrainian forces continue to hold the Toretsk mine. Recently, there were reports that Russian forces had taken control of the spoil tip near the mine, but no geomaterials have been received to confirm this. This information remains unverified. Additionally, geomaterials from this point show that Russian forces attacked Ukrainian positions. As of today, the map reflects these developments. Chasiv. There have been significant changes on the map in this area. Starting with the southern part, geomaterials from this point show the advanced positions of the Russian army. The Russian forces have expanded their control zone by 800 meters. This means that the entire forested area is now in the gray zone and awaiting clearance. Russian troops are present at these points, and in the near future, they will likely consolidate and clear this entire pocket. In the northern part of Chasiv, geomaterials received this morning confirm Russian positions in this area. This indicates that the entire northern part, including northern structures, is under Russian control. Although this information had been reported earlier, confirmation was only received today from these points. Russian forces are advancing from two directions, encircling the Ukrainian fortified area. Further materials from this point show that battles are ongoing between Ukrainian and Russian troops. It is possible that this entire area is already in the gray zone or under Russian control. Additional geomaterials are awaited to update the map. Siversk and Bilohorivka directions. In the comments, many frequently ask about the Siversk direction and Bilohorivka. There are no changes on the map in these areas. Positional battles are ongoing. Let's turn to the map to see Bilohorivka. As you can see, it's nothing but ruins. No houses, no buildings, nothing remains except some basements. The map image was taken almost a year ago in May, so imagine what the situation looks like today. Advancing or consolidating here is nearly impossible. It's akin to suicide. Thus, the map shows no significant changes in this direction. Similarly, no changes have been reported from Terny. Today's information indicates that Russian forces are attacking Kotlyaryne, Bilohorivka, and Yampilivka. While no geomaterials have been received yet, a grey zone has appeared north of Kotlyaryne and south of the settlement. Let's move further north on the map. Between Makeyevka and Zhuravka, Russian forces are aligning the front line, having cleared this pocket, which was previously in the grey zone and is now under Russian control. Kupiansk direction, southern part. In the southern section of this direction, Russian forces continue their attacks on Zeleny High, and the settlement of Novoplatonivka has also come under attack. To recap, Russian forces have been attacking Bohuslavka, Kurakhove, and Zeleny High. Today, it was reported that attacks are already being carried out on Novoplatonivka. These attacks involve artillery and FPV drones targeting Ukrainian military positions. Kupiansk direction, northern part. In the northern part of Kupiansk, Russian forces have established a foothold and are expanding it. Recently, the Russian Ministry of Defense announced that the settlement of Zapadne came under Russian control. However, the only confirmed information is from this specific section of the battlefront. Consequently, the entire area marked in red is under the control of the Russian army. As seen on the map, Russian forces aim to clear this pocket once Dvorichny is fully captured. Thus, the map currently reflects this situation. Let's avoid speculation and move on to the Kursk direction. Kursk direction, southern section. Russian forces continue their attacks on the settlement of Hueva, but have not yet succeeded. Fighting is ongoing in this forested area. Geomaterials confirm that Makhnoivka has indeed come under Ukrainian control. Ukrainian forces have completely cleared Makhnoivka of Russian troops, and it is now fully under Ukrainian control. However, Ukrainian forces are cautious. Reports suggest that Russian troops are amassing reserves in Cherkasska-Konopelka, likely to launch a strong counterattack to drive Ukrainian forces out of Makhnoivka and advance south of Sudzha. This appears to have succeeded, as today video footage confirmed that Russian soldiers are present in the village itself. Sverdlikovo updates. Geomaterials from Sverdlikovo indicate that Russian forces attempted to consolidate in the settlement's northern section. However, Ukrainian reports state that all Russian troops positioned in the northern part were driven out or destroyed. As of now, there are no Russian forces in Sverdlikovo, which remains fully under Ukrainian control. Whether to trust Ukrainian reports is up to you, but the only geomaterial received so far is from this location. For now, the area remains marked as under Russian military control, between Nikolsky and Viktorivka. Geomaterials from this area show that Russian forces advanced 600 meters, expanded their zone of control, and reached the supply road between Viktorivka and Nikolsky. They have consolidated their positions north of Nikolsky. It is unclear whether Ukrainian forces managed to push the Russians out. Reports indicate that Russian troops are also attacking Stara Sorochina and Mykolaiivka, as well as launching assaults on Viktorivka. However, no updates on the map have been received yet. Regarding Mykolaiivka Daryina, previously it was reported that Russian forces had taken this settlement under their control. However, this information remains unverified, as no geomaterials or video evidence have been received. Consequently, the map reflects the situation as it stands.